So welcome back to another episode. Here we have the exquisitely finished Soil Sampler 3000 that I was doing in last Sunday's video, and here it is finished in all its glory, and I must say I am ever so pleased with how it's come out. But anyway, let's get into the video. I hope you enjoy it. So that is the Soil Sampler 3000, as I've called it. Done. The idea of this one is you just do that, flip that up, take your pots out, flip it back down, and away you go. Very pleased with that. Very pleased indeed. We've taken the mirrors off just because they were in the way, and who has mirrors on a quad these days? They're in there. Yeah, that's done. Very happy. I think the customer's very happy. Mr. Alfie Bateman, or Matthew Alford, as everyone will know him, the agronomist. He's been very good in giving me a lot of advice in business and stuff like that. So thank you very much, Alfie, and thank you very much for your custom. It's much appreciated. I look forward to seeing the next thing you bring me that you want in a day. Welcome back. It's Monday morning. I'm on the way to South Moulton. I've got to drop some hydraulic pipes, the ones I did on Saturday, I think it was. I showed you on Sunday. Got to drop those at the end of the lane here, and then I've got to go to Lockie's in South Moulton to see if they've got a spare tyre for the dump trailer, because the one on it has got a puncture. And then I need to get the dump trailer because somebody wants to hire it. There's all the hydraulic pipes, dropping them off end of the lane for Tommy. He's going to pick them up on his way past. Drop them off there. He can pick them up on his way past work in the morning. I think Alf's coming to pick up his quad at some point, quad and trailer. And I think I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up because it's getting a bit of a mess in there at the moment. But anyway, to war! I don't think Kev's here yet. I'll give him a ring, see when he is. So when I say Lockie's, what I mean is SMLRS, Smlers in South Moulton, just behind the wallboard. Great bunch of blokes. They do all the servicing on my pickup truck. They've helped me out several times, brake shoes for stuff, and just general. If you've got commercial axles, your trailers, then they'll help you out with it. Kev's a real good bloke to deal with. Yeah. And they're in South Moulton, so they're quite local. So because Kev on it like a car bonnet this morning, he's already been and gone. So he came in and took a lorry somewhere and did something, so he's not actually there at the minute. I thought they hadn't come in yet, but I was wrong. So what I'll do is I'll go get the trailer back from the other farm and then meet him there again when he comes back. That is the plan. So I've tried pumping it up, and it won't take air. So what I'm going to do is plug it into the tractor, and then tip the tub up a little bit, because it's got rams that push on the back bogie. Keep it stable. And hopefully, that'll just push enough weight onto the back wheels that I can still drive around. Probably won't work, but we'll give it a go. See what happens. Yeah, it'll be fine. Just don't look at it, it'll be alright. Plan 2, I have put a ratchet around the front bogie. I drove up on the bank, moved right over to where I want it. And yeah, I'll do it like that. I have made it back. Yes, if you believe something will happen, it will happen. Gotta believe in yourself. Now, I'm no tyre fitter, but I have done tyres in the past, and even I was surprised at myself in how quickly I managed to whip this tyre off the bead, and I think all the other boys around were as equally surprised as well. New one. I might wire wheel that off. Now, I was thinking I was going to have to whizzy wheel this off myself, but matey found his grinder, put the disc on, got his goggles on, and then proceeded to do it himself, leaving me standing there looking like a lemon. But that's fine. It's probably something to do with health and safety, because let's be honest, health and safety saps the fun out of everything. I'm sure if there was a health and safety officer watching, they would have been cringing at the fact I was using a ratchet strap as a bottle jack. They did find me a proper bottle jack, and we got the job done, and nobody died, so all is well. He's on, just needs pumping up, then we can be away. My battery's about to die, so let's renew it off. Dump trailer tyre done. We had to get a can of Cherry Blast, put it in the tyre and then light it, because the bead cheater wouldn't do it, surprisingly. So on my way back to the workshop with this one, and I shall meet Andrew Stenterfoot, who's going to pick it up and take it back to Sam's Dairies. Sorry, James Price Tractors. We're out of your yard now. Sorry. Right, back at the workshop finally. It is all go today. I only looked at the clock a minute ago and it's nearly bloody lunchtime. Anyway, I got those done yesterday. They're ready to go up. I think what I'm going to do, these ones on the trestles and paint those. What I'm going to do, because you won't see this bottom side, I won't bother painting that because that'll have boards on it. So yeah, what I'll do is get them on there. I tried ringing Alfie a minute ago to see when he's coming to pick his quad up, but he's probably in a meeting or something. He didn't answer the phone. I'm wondering whether I'd just get that outside ready for when he comes, and so I've got a bit more room, because it is a bloody mess in here at the minute. So much stuff and things everywhere. All the things are everywhere. But yes, we must push on. I need an apprentice. If anyone wants to be an apprentice, doing apprentice type jobs, then let me know. You'll have to work for coffee and biscuits, basically, because I'm very poor. I'm really selling it to you guys, aren't I? And so, like an old sow about to start farrowing, my nesting instinct kicked in, and I got to work in tidying up the workshop. Doesn't it look much more presentable now? Once that was done, I moved the trestles over to the clear part of the workshop so that the RSJs were out of the way so I could start painting them. Well, that was lucky. Makes a difference having a tidy up. And a sweep up. Definitely got a definite tan line, tide mark on the floor here. But yeah, those are in now. I'll get those painted, and yeah, then we've got to put them up. Still got to find some bloody wood. Fucking job. He's going to start playing on his bloody motorbike now, isn't he? Anyway, I have a question in the comments for you boys and girls, well, mainly boys. Do I get myself an apprentice or put feelers out for part-time worker? Because there are often times where just me isn't enough. My contracting stuff to do, and then hopefully in a minute I'll have a lot of people coming in wanting repairs done. I do hate neighbours sometimes. I'm going to shoot him. Yeah, but the question is, do I bother, or do I just carry on and do as much as I can myself? I don't know if it's one of them. And Mr. James Hayes came around the other day from Find It, Fix It Farming, or Machinery Nation, which was actually quite handy because he told me that the septic tank is actually out in the field right next to me, so for putting a toilet in was actually quite useful. But he was saying, do as much as you can yourself until you've filled a job role, which is true, it is right. But for me at the moment, the workshop will be busy and the tractors are quiet, and then the tractors are quiet, or the Tractors are busy and the workshop's quiet, but they will get to a point where it will clash. So it's whether I do take the leap and just have some minions. Don't know, drop it in the comments below, see what you think. Wow, look at that. That's it for Monday. Good morning. Cup of coffee time. So if you remember in last week's video, I said about the people that used to rent this building, and I said they were THY. I don't know where I got that from, I was chatting out my arse. It used to belong to SMS, South Mountain Scaffolding. So I stand corrected on that one. Thank you Ryan for reminding me of that. Anyway, I've got a VIP coming this morning. Ta-da! So I've got to make him a cup of tea. Earl Grey, nonetheless. Specially requested. Yes, you. Finished those off yesterday. They look quite good. I've not bothered to paint that side because it's going up against the wall. It'll be, yeah, that wall. And didn't really see the point in painting it. And I literally only just managed to paint all of the other one with what was left. So that was a fairly good idea. It's Tuesday, by the way. So as funds do not allow for me to start putting the mezzanine up, I thought I'd get on and finish off the Bale squeeze, which you can see there. And then I had to cut off the old brackets to put a set of Euro 8s on, because that is what is going to fit my headstock. So my morning exercise consisted of swinging the swing press around and beating the living life out of it as much as I could. It started doing this when I was finishing off the legs. And it's rather annoying. I don't know what it's actually doing. It's almost like it's seizing up, but I'm sure I'll work it out. Remember in the spring to change your Bale squeeze fluid. It is a necessity. That's what I'm doing here. So you may remember in the previous video I said I needed to put new caps on because there's a big hole underneath these ones. So I came up with this idea. Cut myself a circle, take it outside, beat the living daylights out of it into the concrete to make it a little bit of a dome, weld it on, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. We have a tube cap. Look at that. That's professional, that is. So, it is Wednesday, I think. Is it Wednesday? Oh, it's probably Wednesday. Anyway, today, well, this morning, I'm going to take a trip up to see Mrs. Singh, Mr. Alan Singh, to see what the hours are on the 6/8 that he's had since August, just to keep up to date with our little thing that's going on. Well, that's if it's there. It might not be there. Then come back. Probably finish off the Bale squeeze. I don't know whether to sell that one or not really, because I need one for myself, but I also need money. So it's one of them, innit? I also had a thought this morning that at the minute I'm doing a Sunday video about the whole week. Let me know in the comments what you think about doing a video on Wednesday. The same thing, a week of everything, but do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, well, possibly Sunday, maybe. Let me know what you think. Anyway, let's get going. We are definitely in a British spring. You know, yesterday it was absolutely lovely weather, and now it's absolutely horrendous. Marvellous. How do you know you've made it in life? Gates open themselves for you. Yeah. So the 6.8 wasn't there, unfortunately, but that's fine. I just terrorised them all for a bit anyway. I'm now on the way back to the workshop because Mr. Alfie has remembered me. Thank you, Alfie. I shall see you in a minute. Testing, mic check. Do I look fit? Yes, I do. Okay. Oh, so Alfie has been in. He's very pleased with my setup. He has bought me the, I don't know what you call it, the core sampling thing. You can see what I mean by the core thing on the end. So I can basically explain. So you'll be driving along like a hero, stab it into the ground, twist it, get your sample, and then hook it on the bolts, like I said. What he's given me this for is he wanted to mount it somewhere. He was thinking at the front here, something like that. I don't think that'll work very well. What I'm thinking is an old piece of PTO guard. This will be from the rear discharge PTO, and I shortened that. I thought we could sort of mount that there maybe somehow. But the problem with that is that you put your thing in it and it wants to fall with the spiggy bits that way, which would be an absolute nightmare on there. The other thought I had was to put it somewhere there, but then this will be rattling against the frame the whole time and that will get very annoying. So the other thought I had, and like he said, he could say if you can't make it look alright, they'll just chuck it in this. But the thought I had was to bolt that one there, like that. So then that'll just sit in there, and then it will do that, won't it? Don't know, I'll come up with something maybe. But he did say if we can't do anything to sort of make it look half sensible, then he'll just chuck it in the back, which is fine. But yeah, I'll have to have a think about that. But anyway, he said he won't be late again. I'll hold that to him. Young Alfie, not impressed. I was just having a think then, I could still use it, but I've just got to find some way to make it smaller. Whether I put a slit in there, cut a section out, and then bring it in a bit more. Because being satin black, it does match the all the bars in the box, so don't know. I'll have a bit of a play around. So that's sort of what I've come up with. Well, rather worryingly, I went round to Prices to find a bit of thinner PTO tube, and the apprentice came up with the idea of putting some notches in like that. As you can see that. Put some notches in, so then at least that stops one way of movement. It's a bit longer as well to hold that in. Put that on there like that. Bolt it to that tub. And then when you're riding, you can just on guard, you see? It even makes the appropriate noise. Just like that. And then bolt that into the plastic tub. I don't know, I can't really see, without it looking terrible, any other way that I can mount that, basically. Don't know, but it doesn't cost anything, I suppose, really, other than my labour, but yes. So, with the quad job by the wayside now, I thought I'd get back to preparing for the summer with the Bale squeeze. What I'm doing here is just test fitting everything, making sure it all fits right, putting the ram in to do the actual squeezing. And what this pillock here is saying, that forgot to plug the bloody microphone in, is that the ends on it I had to change because they're very, very rusty. And look at that, it works marvellously. Brilliant that, isn't it? Proper job. And then also, as you can see, I tip it up forwards and the tubes don't come off, whereas before they would have just slid straight off because there was absolutely nothing holding them on. I did, however, forget to latch it into the headstock, which was quite brave, because I could have just ripped the end of the pipes off doing that. So I have made an spacer here, and I've made it so the bolt fits in perfectly like that. Little tiny mini lathe, it took forever. I need to remember when I have this to speak into it rather than hold it over here somewhere. So do quite like my microphones, they're great. Right, so I think that is that done. That's where I was putting the shims, just to space them out a little bit. Had to notch them against the bolt as well, which is ideal because it means that doesn't turn when you undo it. Sprayed with red oxide, just wait for that to dry and then put some black on it. If I end up selling it, I probably will put some new pipes on, just because it will finish it off then. It's got new ends on anyway, because the old ones were rusted. But no, I'm very pleased with that. Even if I end up keeping it, I'll still use it for myself. So yes, but if anybody watching this does want it, then let me know. Don't really know what I'm going to do today, actually. I might go home and write out some invoices, because again, you can do as much work as you like, but if you don't invoice out, then it's absolutely pointless. I know Alfie was berating me to send him an invoice. On that subject, actually, I don't know if we're actually going to do anything with that spiggy thing, because I can't, without it looking like a complete bodge or drilling stuff into here and whatever, I can't really see that. Because I sent him a sort of a picture / video of this up like that, and he said it was a bit too high up and finicky, which is true, but yeah, I can't really think of anything else. Because it's so long, I think that is half the problem. But no, instead, sit that in there with all the other crap. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much that one done, I guess. So, we've changed our minds again, and this is sort of the concept I've gone for. A bit of PTO tube, like I said before. Initially I had it stuck up like that, wasn't any good. So what you can do now is you can be going along like a hero, stop, pull that out, jib that in the floor, scrape your thing off. Even if you didn't put it back every time, just had it sort of drove on however many 100 yards, depends how big your field is, jib, whatever, put it back. Yeah, that's sort of the best sort of thing I could think of for the time being, really. But yeah, and I thought I discovered something brilliant. So initially the light was on, shining straight in the back of the pots at the front. There's actually a button to turn it off. Who'd have thunk it? Wonderful. So it is Thursday today. Not really doing anything very interesting today. I've got the spreader in the workshop. And what I'm doing is just getting this bit in here flush so I can butt the edge of the new bit up against it, and like the top corners, and grinding down all the sides, top bits and all sorts. So yeah, you're not missing much. It's a horrible job, grinding dust, sparks and all sorts everywhere. So that's why I haven't put the camera up, because it would get absolutely ruined. But yeah, pretty much it for Thursday. I haven't done anything else today. There's nothing very interesting happening. So yeah, see you tomorrow. So it's Friday. And what a glorious day it is. Anyway, not much to see again today, I don't think, really, because what I'm doing is a lot of thinking, because I'm going to put the spreader sides in when they're ready, but I need to cut an angle that way on this one. The holes were already drilled by Tom Lee Engineering, and they've made it so this isn't the centre is about there. So on this one, that hole is a little bit closer to the edge for the board thing, hold it on, and there'll be a little bit more than usual hanging out the edge or out the back, but that's fine because that's how they were anyway. So what I'll do is put it on, weld it, and then cut it when it's on, and yeah, everything's all ground down, ready to go. This is cut as well. That's another thing I'll have to do, actually, because their dies on the press brake are quite wide. I think we will have only needed a little bit, but they made it a bit longer so they could do it, which is fine, because then I can just zip along the bottom, zip the back off at the right angle there, and then they'll be on. That's how I'm measuring it there. So it's all ideal. Very good. Right, so that's that sort of just sort of roughly hanging in place, what I've discovered is if it fits perfectly here, that's about where it needs to be. Down the bottom, there's just a slight gap. So I've been pondering whether I do, when I commit to welding it in, weld just to there, and then from the inside, push, weld that, and then obviously this will be in the right place. I do need to cut just a slight bit off the bottom, because there is a bend there, like I said. But no, the other thing I thought is if I get it out, unbend it, if that's even a word, then it might give it that extra bit of height. The only problem with that is it won't, I don't think that'll line up right afterwards. But other than that, it's ever so close. Well, the other thing I thought also was to weld these two together and put them all in one go. Or whether that might be too much to handle. I don't know, but it is very, very close. It's very close. Quite pleased with that. Yeah, I'm sure you'll find out how I get on. The other thing I thought was to take it down to Hotworks and get them to put it in their press brake backwards. But I think that's just a bit too much, really. What do you think, Kel? Not much to see on a Friday. It's just a lot of thinking, God, I look like I've got a black eye. Again. Not missing a tooth this time, anyway. But no, that is it for this week, pretty much. I don't think I'll be doing much on Saturday. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Ta-da! That's my phone, for anyone that's wondering. But yeah, I shall see you again, maybe for a midweek video. I don't know. But thank you very much for watching. I shall see you next week.